I have handpicked, handcrafted 31 plus movies for you to watch this October. Consider this one of my biggest movie rec moments of all time. Like, it honestly wasn't that hard, but I did want to keep things at a fun level with some heavy gore at times because I'm a big fan of gore. Like, as long as it's not excessive and takes away from the potentially cool plot, gore is cool. So you might see some of that, but let's begin. So, the first movie for October 1st, which I know it's the 4th, but we can catch up this way. The first movie, number 1, House of the Devil. Now, I've talked about this movie a lot, especially when Ty West was trending. When X came out and, well, when Pearl, Maxine. When Maxine came out, like, we were talking about Pearl and X a lot. This is the same director as Maxine, Pearl, and X. This was one of the first movies he ever did, if not the first. But I think this movie nails what we're seeing a lot of, like, in indie horror games, like a PSX style, but kind of for a movie. Like, when you watch this movie, it's not PSX style, but it brings you to, like, another time. And it really makes you seem like you're watching a movie from the 80s or the 70s or something like that. I think it looks more 70s, but it was definitely not filmed in the 70s. It's one of those, like, just, like, really well-crafted set design-wise and film grain-wise. Tonally, it's awesome. It's just about a girl that gets a really weird babysitting job. So it has a bit of When a Stranger Calls vibes to it, but then it turns into something completely else. Greta Gerwig is actually in this movie. No one ever talks about that. She's like a pretty cool character in this movie. Like, but that's really about it. I don't want to spoil too much of this stuff, especially if you haven't seen it, but I think this movie does bringing you to the 70s better than most horror movies that try now. Because a lot of time when you see like flashback scenes, it's like they just kind of color grade it to be black and white, or they unsaturate it, or they make it like a weird tint, and you're like, okay, now it's back in time. Sometimes they match the fashion too, but in this movie, it really, really convinces you that you're watching a movie from the 70s. And it's like, it threw me off for the longest time. So yeah, that really put this director on the map for me. His name is Ty West, and he did direct X, Pearl, and Maxine. So it's nice to see that he's doing so well and everything. But yeah, like, I think this also sets the tone. It's not super horror. It's not super scary, I guess, and it's not super intense, but it's definitely like a good beginner October 1st kind of movie, or October 4th, whatever. Start watching this list whenever you want, or just write them down for the future. For October 2nd, Raw. Now, Raw does get gory, but it really kind of pushes the boundary in a really tasteful way. Yeah, I don't feel like enough people talk about Raw. It's about a girl that goes to veterinary school, and she's a vegetarian, but she tries raw meat for the first time. And things just escalate from there. Yes, Raw is gory, but it's my favorite kind of gory where it works into the plot super well. I mean, this really does work in perfectly well. It's a great tale about like just a powerful girl going through a lot of things through cannibalism, honestly. Like, cannibalism is the main character in this movie, but if you haven't seen this, for some reason, it got shoved under the rug. The first year it was out, people were really about it, but I swear, like, I just haven't heard about this in so long. So may this be your reminder. Check out Raw. But this also comes with a double feature. If you're watching Raw, I also suggest you watch, oh God, me too, Fresh. This is a good companion piece for Raw. I just rewatched Fresh, and I think it's actually way better the second time. So if you want to take this as an opportunity to rewatch Fresh, do it. It's another cannibalism movie, but it's less focused on one girl. If you know, this one is more about like taking someone captive and a little bit of Friday the 13th Part 2 vibes, where she starts to mind play the captor through some things that I won't spoil. But it's just, this movie really hits, and I think they work in eating raw meat really well. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird specific genre, the raw meat, like. But yeah, Fresh did it really well and raw. So if you feel like watching a meat like, I highly suggest Fresh and raw for number 2. Number 3 is actually a movie that I watched last night, and I loved it so much that I had to immediately include it on the list. It's called One Cut of the Dead. Okay, I cannot put it into words, like how much I don't want to spoil this for you. I went into this thinking it was gonna be just another zombie movie, but it is anything but that. It definitely has zombies in it, as you can see, but it is so cool. Like, trust me. It's one of the more fun horror movies I've experienced in a long time, where it kind of Evangelions you. I don't even know if that makes sense, but like, no, that's not the right word. It kind of like John Malkovich's you, and that's all I'll say about that. It just really mind you when you don't expect it, because the tone, like the first half, is way different than the tone in the second half. And I really, really don't want to say anything else. And I'm bad at that. So I'm going to try to leave it at that. Just write this one down. One Cut of the Dead, okay? It is seriously, like, I watched it last night and I just immediately had to include it for today. Seriously. Is it mixed with comedy? Oh, yeah. This is one of those, like, fun ones that does not take itself, like, too seriously. So, yeah, whenever I do another list or something, I'll maybe do like an intense meter. This movie is not very intense. It's more just about what you'll see. You'll see. But yeah, it's a zombie movie. I'll put it at that. It is a zombie movie, and it's kind of the only zombie movie I have on the list. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a zombie movie fan. They just don't really do it for me. I get kind of bored. But this one takes a zombie movie to a whole other level, and I just did not expect. Like, you know when you're watching a movie and you're like, oh, I can predict this. You can't for this. Like, it's just so good, and I was so impressed, to be honest with you. So that's my, rec for day 3. But this has a companion piece. One sec. This is a movie that y'all recommended to me, and I think it goes hand in hand with One Cut, Shadow the Vampire. Shadow the Vampire is a movie about a movie, and it's about Nosferatu. So it's kind of on theme with today too, but y'all, that was one of the best recommendations y'all have given to me. So this is kind of my thank you for that. If you're listening and you were one of the ones recommending that to me. Yeah. It goes behind the scenes, and it kind of has the same vibe as One Cut without spoiling too much of One Cut. For day 4. Oh wait, let me make this day 4. Day 4. I think you should watch The Invitation. Who here has seen The Invitation? People often overlook this one too. This is a really, really cool dinner party horror movie. I did find a good companion piece to this one, but it is a slow burn. But I wouldn't put slow burns on the list if they didn't have a good payoff, because I'm not a slow burn fan. I get it, but it better have a good payoff. You know, I really am kind of just a kid on their iPad about horror movies sometimes. Like, if it has a slow burn, it just better bring it. And I think this one really does. So this is just about a dude and his girlfriend showing up to a dinner party, and I think he's invited by some of his like older friends or like past friends and stuff, so it's kind of like a reunion and everything. But yeah, it just really hits like the last 30 minutes or so when you see what the true intentions are and what the big plan is and all that. So yeah, I do like a good dinner party horror movie, or just one that kind of flips itself on its head, where like you think they're your friends and they're not, you know, but not necessarily like The Thing, but more just like centered in reality, like, hey, this could be a cult or something. You know what I mean? I like that kind of shit. So another movie I think would go really well with this one though, because that one is, I felt like watching another movie after I watched this one specifically. So this one, it picks up the pace a bit. Now, I highly recommend watching You're Next after The Invitation. It's another let's invite you over, nothing will go wrong kind of horror movie. It's really good, and I just really feel like people need to be reminded of this movie. Again, I mean, it really got the hype it deserved when it came out, but I haven't heard anyone talk about this in years, so that's what I'm here for, you know? A classic with a twist. Yeah, like I think a lot of my favorite horror movies that I like to rewatch and recommend are just like baseline reality, but then something really happens, you know? Like, and it's kind of like what this movie has to offer and The Invitation. This one is a little bit more fast-paced and things get going a lot faster. It's kind of like Ready or Not, where you have a bunch of people that are hanging out together. They all know each other. But then this one especially flips, like, who do we trust? I thought my friend was my friend, or yeah, kind of thing. And I think the very last 20 minutes of this one is one of my favorite twists ever. Like, I really actually didn't see it coming. Yeah. The ending to this is like totally one of those, it's kind of what I expected from the movie Funny Games, but nothing really was twisty about that one. Yeah, the killer is great in this. So just watch this one. If you watched it a while ago and you're like, I don't remember, do it. Day 5 is a banger. Okay, I love Day 5. Day 5 is all about the certain horror where girl goes to Hollywood, tries to become big actress, and then just completely turns into not that. So I am a big fan of that stuff. I just think it's a cool concept. I'll always be a fan of that. And again, I just feel like this movie doesn't get talked about enough. It's one of those, she goes to Hollywood, she tries to be an aspiring actress, and a lot of weird, stuff happens that might seem like typical, like, okay, yeah, we know Hollywood's up, sort of thing. But then it goes on to be like a whole other thing. Like, we get it. Hollywood is fucked up. There's gonna be a lot of horror in climbing the ladder to be an actress. But like the things that happen in this one take it to like a whole other level. Like, it's not just like, the stuff we usually hear about, which is definitely horror, but I really like what they do in this one. So add Starry Eyes to your list if you need to rewatch it, or if you just need to watch it in general. Trust me, like, all of the picks I have tonight, I would give a very high score to, and like, I would love to know what you think about it too. But Starry Eyes does deserve a companion piece. It's gonna leave you on a weird note. Like, it does leave you on a weird note. Sorry, don't look at that. Don't look at that. It leaves you on a kind of like a, whoa, what do I do with myself now note. And that can be nice, but I think a good companion piece to that is a classic most of us have seen. Mulholland Drive. Now, we've probably all seen Mulholland Drive if you're a David Lynch fan. Sorry. There, Day 5. It deserves to be rewatched, I think, especially during this time. Like y'all are saying, it's kind of weird right now. Lots of things being talked about, but literally, when I first saw this movie, I just didn't know about anything going into it. So it really, really, really blew my mind. It's definitely girl goes to Hollywood, and you think you know what's going to happen, but then it just completely flips itself on its head, and not in a way that's like too weird, you know? It still follows the narrative, and like it still feels fun to watch, you know? Because I like a good artsy horror movie, but most of the time I just like it when they know itself and they know what to twist and where the twists work, as basic as that is to say. Like, I think a lot of twists, or the twist in this movie especially, does work. I've heard that a lot of people didn't like it because of the twist in the movie. It definitely adds a whole other tone halfway through, but man, I personally love it. I'm a big fan of the first 15 minutes. Most of us have seen it, so I'll just say it. My favorite part are her parents. Like, I love her parents. It's like about a 10-second scene where they're just in the car wishing her goodbye to LA. Like, have a good time. Hopefully you make it big, honey. And like, there's just something about the way they're smiling in the car. It's some Uncanny Valley shit before Uncanny Valley shit was like big. I don't know. And so I think when I saw that note, like when I saw like that scene hit that note, I was like, this is gonna be a ride. There's just something really messed up about her parents, and they don't show them ever again. Like, it's, I don't know. It's very Lynchy, I'll put it that way. Like, he definitely knows how to include characters that are like strange as hell that don't fit into any other movie, you know? Day 6. I love this movie, and I am personally using this as a excuse to watch it again. Drag Me to Hell. Okay, now, I don't know why this movie gets such split reviews. It really does, like, hit people in a really 50-50 way. I don't think I've ever sorry, I just read your Mulholland Drive comment. Yeah, Drag Me to Hell is really fun. I think it's, again, I just don't hear people talk about it enough. It's not completely shoved under the rug. In fact, the main actress, Alison Lohman, loves to still tweet about her experience on that movie, and she thinks it's just really funny that she was in this movie. Like, and I think it's true. Like, the things they put her through are really good. It has a campy vibe, but like, I don't know, it works. It just works sometimes. Horror satire. Yeah. And like, especially the very last like scene. That's what it was. Most people find just like the finale to be really controversial. I personally loved it. But yeah, I think this is like one of my favorite fun horror movies that doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, don't go into it being like, okay, horror drama time. Just watch it. You know, a lot of these movies kind of have that vibe where it's like, don't take them too seriously. Just kind of like see them for what they are, you know? But Drag Me to Hell, I just thought it was a fun watch from like the first scene to the last scene. And it has one of my favorite horror endings ever. Day 7, I do think this is my most controversial take of the night, okay? Most controversial take. Not necessarily Casper, but the one that I chose to follow up Casper. Casper, I only watched for the first time last year, and I honestly think this is just one of the best spooky movies ever. It nails it. It just nails whatever it's going for, you know? And I think it belongs in the ranks of all the other movies we're talking about. Like, just because it's not rated R, just because it's not rated PG-13, like, you know. I think Casper f***ing nails it. Christina Ricci's in this. The guy who plays Casper that turns into a human later is awkward. It's great. It's like, I think this deserves to be on a hardcore movie list, or hardcore horror movie list. So I wanted to just get that one out of the way because this next one I do think is controversial, but is the companion piece to Casper. I want to know right now, Casper's Well, a lot of people can be scared of ghosts, Pin Pan. You never know. Honestly, it brings a really good just Halloween vibe too. And I think with being like a weekend, day 7, you need to start feeling something, right? Like a bunch of these movies we've talked about, we're just kind of like setting the stage for the month. But like Casper is like, okay guys, we're f***ing here, It's Halloween time, it's October, we're in, But after you watch Casper, you better watch I love this movie. Like, I just think this is one of the better sequels out there. That's Hilary Duff. That is Hilary Duff. And I think it's like her first role ever. I'm not gonna lie. Call it what you want. Cringe, cheesy, whatever. Kids movie. It is so good. Like, it's just so good. I love it's just a really good like interpretation of the cartoon. Yeah, and Hilary Duff, I think that's her breakout role, and she plays the perfect Wendy. It's kind of like how Shelley Duvall played the perfect Olive Oil. Like, for some reason, she's just like the perfect Wendy. She has these really cool like red outfits the whole times. Thank you, Flounce. Thank you. Yeah, they just make her a really cool witch. And so when I watched this, like when I was a lot younger, this really brought me into liking witches. But I honestly should make a whole list of witch movies. And it was really hard to not just pick a lot of witch movies, because there's the good witch, or what's that called? The worst witch, literally the opposite. There's like The Craft, like there's so many practical magic, but I just wanted to pick this one for my witch movie. I think it's a good time to watch after Casper, and it only builds the world more. The three like sisters up here, they're really good. Honestly, these were kind of my Hocus Pocus bitches for a while. Okay, Hocus Pocus would be also another good companion piece to Casper, Reanimator. I do think that would work too, but I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about this one. I really do think they got swept under the rug too fast. And if you have kids, let them watch this one, see what happens. It has this really intense moment at the end where like there's this door that leads to like this hell portal, and you can get shoved into this door, and like they spiral down into hell, and like, dude, it just goes places that I did not expect. Yeah, Witches is a great one, Freak. Yeah, that would go on the Witches list too. So I'm just warning you that it gets pretty intense, Gabagool. I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm just putting out some trigger warnings. This is for day 8. I don't think watching the first one and then the second one is a good idea. What I mean by that is like watching The Strangers and then watching the second one. That's what's gonna be the companion piece to this. For some reason, I do think watching these two together work really well. But I wouldn't recommend watching like Halloween 1 and then Halloween 2. I would just go a different route with that. I wouldn't even pick like Jason 1 and Jason 2. I know it's Friday the 13th part 1 and Friday the 13th part 2, but I wouldn't even like recommend that, But for some reason, for The Strangers, which I find to be one of the best home invasion horror movies ever, has a really creepy soundtrack. Dude, this guy is scary as hell. Like the guy back there, this is one of the best movie posters too. Like, I mean, this is just horror at an all-time high for me. I really do think it's like, I don't know of any other, like this would be the scariest situation to be in. I even had like a dream recently that was just a lot like this, and so I just had to include it for that reason. But I think most of us have seen The Strangers, so it's not really like a new recommendation, I also want to, for the companion piece, okay, we gotta talk about this one. So, Strangers Part 2, Pray at Night or whatever. Dude, this movie got way too much hate when it came out. I get it. Cringe teenagers are annoying and they're usually not the best actors, but if you can look past that, I actually don't even think they were that bad. I think this movie hits a little bit harder than the first one. The first one has like that more close to home sort of feel, you know, but this one picks up the action and you get to see them a lot more in it too. And the kills in this are pretty good. The scenery is all over the place because it's basically just one big cat and mouse game, but it's not in the one house like in the first one. It's like all over the little town they're in and stuff. I don't know. For some reason, this movie got way too much hate when it came out because it wasn't as like hard hitting as the first one. But honestly, I would argue that this one hits harder because like the scene in the car where he's in the car, you know, the baghead guy, he's just in the car and he does the thing. I don't want to spoil it. That's such an intense scene. And like when they're running by the pool, I don't know. There's just a lot in this movie that I think people wanted to hate because they heard that it was bad. And I challenge you to just rewatch this on day 8 of October. Like, you don't even have to watch The Strangers 1. I think we all know about The Strangers. If you don't, let me know what you think. Because like, or if you don't know The Strangers, definitely watch the original. But like, man, I was just a big fan of the second one. I think it deserves more hype. I have no idea who these actors are or anything. I've never looked into that. I haven't even looked into the director, so I have nothing to say about the production, which is bad. But like with just horror movie entertainment watching and feeling that popcorn feeling, yes, I like this one. So trust me on this. Watch this one and let me know what you think. Day 9 gets a little weird, but not for the first one, more for the companion piece. I keep thinking it's over here. Okay. 13 Ghosts is definitely a movie I think everyone should watch in October. This is one of the campiest, coolest practical effects movies ever that includes CGI in the best way ever too. It's very underrated. I just think it's due for a rewatch. You know, I'm proud that I'm seeing most of y'all have even seen this. Good. I mean, it's just, I think this is a great month to give it another shot. Including me. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, so I kind of don't know much freshly off my mind on it, but I know it's a banger because I know I loved it the first time, and I love all the different ghosts it includes. Like, yeah, it has 13 ghosts, but they really do a good job on making each ghost its own thing with its own story and its own look. Like, it has great character design. And I love like the whole like chamber that they're in, and like, I don't know. It's a really fun movie. Like, this is just one of those really fun horror movies that just knows itself in its campy way, man. It just, yeah, I would suggest this on day 9. So it's a banger. What can I say? It's just fun in its own way. But like I said, I don't have anything like, I need to rewatch it. It's really been a while. Sorry, it's here. It's really been a while since I've seen this shit. Like, I really gotta... Maybe we gotta watch this one soon in Discord. Exclamation point Discord! I think we should watch this one soon. I gotta refresh my mind, but I know I loved it the first time. It's companion piece for 13 Ghosts. This one's a little weird and I'm not 100 on it, but I am 100 on the movie. And I think people hated this one too much. Are we ready? 1408. Okay. I do think this is the era of scary movies that kind of got shitty for a bit and did rely on jump scares. I know. See, we're already getting some boos in the chat. I challenge you to rewatch it. I think it's actually pretty underrated. It's kind of one of those fun hotel movies. If you like Insidious, there's no question about it that you're gonna like this one because it's literally the same vibe where they go into a haunted house sort of thing, except they're in a hotel. Like the other world or whatever. What is it called in Insidious? I always forget. Not the netherworld. The other place. I don't even know. They basically do that in this, The Further. That's right. They basically do that in this movie, but they're in a hotel. And I really think John Cusack plays the perfect jaded author. And you have Samuel L. Jackson. It's just good. I mean, it's not the best though. This is kind of one of those movies that I'm not 100% always wrecking it, but I think it's a good companion piece to 13 Ghosts. I don't know why. I just think it is. It's one of those that it's more of a gut feeling. I don't have like a literal reason why, but I just feel it in my gut. So I know, I'm seeing a lot of, disagreement. But trust me, maybe just write it down. Write it down so you don't forget about it again, because I know you did. But for day 10, this is my hard-hitting, gory horror that I recommend tonight. Inside. I would love to know right now who here has seen Inside. I did include this today after watching Martyrs last night. I did not want to include Martyrs. I do think Martyrs is very unique in its own way, but I don't feel like it's the vibe for just including it on like a Halloween horror October list. It's just more like, do we want to go through trauma tonight? Let's watch Martyrs. This is not that. But this is based on a true story of a real home invasion where someone broke in and tried to get what they wanted. And I'm not going to say what it is. Most of you probably know. But this does not fuck around when it comes to gore. This is part of the I think it's part of the French New Wave horror. It might have been a little after like all the breakout movies came out, like High Tension, Martyrs, and stuff like that. This is the French one. This stars Beatrice Dallet, one of my favorite. If you love like a cigarette smoking goth queen, she is so good. She is like there's moments in this movie where she inflicts some of the hardest watching gore or violence I have ever seen on the other woman. And just soon after she does it, she just smokes a cigarette and just sits against this wall and like there's just blood everywhere. And it's just like such a vibe, dude. Very French, the more I think about it. But like, and I mean, it is French. But like, there's something about this movie that I think they work in the gore because it's literally part of her intention of being in the house. It doesn't take 2 hours or even an hour to figure out why she's there. So you don't have to go through a bunch of torture for no reason. Like you are witnessing a cat and mouse experience, but it's a lot more thrilling than just watching Martyrs or something because you're waiting on it to why she's there. It's a very intentional movie and I love that. So the gore hits hard, but like, I'm saying that, but literally I watched Terrifier 2's gory scenes today to show Grimghoul a little bit because he hasn't seen Terrifier 2. So I was like, well, let me show you some of these scenes. Like, it's insane. I mean, this, like, it's not even that gory compared to Terrifier 2. But I think it's more of a personal, not like me personal, but I think it hits harder, the violence in this one, because it's like, the violence happens in weird body part locations. And like I said, it's just like really intentional. Yeah, but it's really, really hard hitting. And I do recommend going into this one, not after you watch Casper or something. Like you should prepare yourself for a really gory movie, but it's really fucking good. Like, yeah, and they did have an American remake of this. I haven't watched it. People are really quick to judge the American remakes, but I will go ahead and just definitely recommend the French one because it has Beatrice Dallet in it. Like, she's the goth cigarette smoking queen I was talking about. Like, that's why I recommend the French one, because she's in it. So, yeah. Day 11 is what I would consider video game horror. Hi, Couch. Also, nice to see you. Video game horror, there needs to be more of it, but I'm not talking about, what's it called? I'm not talking about movies that are based on games. I'm talking about movies that involve games and different types of games. This is a Cronenberg classic, but I feel like not a lot of people refer to this one when they first think of Cronenberg. Yeah, so I love this one personally because it deals with body horror as well. And basically it's about a video game console that you can plug into your body and you treat it like VR. So you get a lot of Cronenberg body horror through them just plugging it into their system, which you're the console basically, and you're plugging in a console. It's kind of like a trippy thing in that regard. I was gonna put The Fly, and I always do support The Fly from Cronenberg, but I just feel like we all know The Fly is a banger, and if you don't, you should go watch The Fly. But Existenz is just one of those that I feel like we don't talk about enough, and hopefully with me mentioning video game horror, we'll get more of it, and not just like a new Resident Evil movie, but maybe more like let's play with the concept of video games as a horror thing, you know? So yeah, I really wanted to include Existenz for that reason. And it does have a companion piece, so I'm gonna throw that in there. It is exactly, Couch called it. This is one that we've watched as Chat Meet Blob together. Don't know how long ago it was, but like this movie does it right in like the so bad it's so good sort of way. I do think it is a good companion piece to Existenz because it's not based on a video game, but it is a video game horror movie, and they literally create their own original video game that they get sunk into. So it's about a bunch of teenagers starring Frankie Muniz that like plug into this horror game, and if they die in the game, they die in real life, and it's so good. Like the game that they're playing is this weird haunted mansion sort of like survival horror game, and it's really actually innovative how when they die in the game, they die in real life. Like it works like really well. And I'm just, if you shit on this movie, then I just really think you don't know how to have fun, and I will judge you for that. I think this movie has a lot of things to shit on, but it's more so just like let loose. Not every horror movie has to involve some sort of like trauma to it. Sometimes they can just be fun, and this is one of those things where it's, you just gotta let loose and watch it and not judge it too hard, because it's so good if you just let it be what it is. And like, I'll say it again, the video game that they create for this movie is honestly a work of art. Like, it's not good in any regard like playing the actual game. I can't imagine, but like, we would rage quit the game, let's be honest, that they created in this. And then I would die in real life by somehow rage quitting there being a thing with that. That's getting pretty dark. Anyways, I don't know. I think it's really cool though. I want more movies like this. I dig it. I really dig, yeah, the whole concept of video game horror without it being an adaptation. That's the word I'm trying to think of. You know, stupid adaptations can be really bad, especially when they're video games. Like we did not need the Uncharted movie. We just didn't need that. Silent Hill movies, you know, they're weird. But yeah, I like it when it's more of like an original concept that deals with video games. So I wanted to make day 11 all about that. 12, moving on. We are on day 12 out of 31, and most of these have a companion piece, so there's a lot of movies here. Okay, now, this movie, May. I love May. May is another body horror movie that is very female-centric, and it is just so underrated. It has doll horror. It's mainly about this girl that goes on a lot of dates with a lot of different men for different reasons, and you can see why there's scissors circling around her head. She's dating these men for specific reasons, and if you kind of put it together with the doll horror, yeah. I just don't want to spoil it because it really is a cool reveal, even though they sort of know, you know what's happening while you're watching it, but just if you haven't watched it. I love it for it being, it has a lot of really creepy dolls in it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to call dolls creepy sometimes, but like when they are, and like they really have creepy dolls. I'm sorry. I guess I feel bad saying that. I'm sorry, Dolores. She's right here. Like she like gave me the side eye. Like look at her just staring at me. Okay. But like the dolls they choose in this movie are actually pretty scary. And then the whole concept that she is after, like the whole goal that May is after is insanely cool, and I've never seen it in another horror movie. Also, Anna Faris has like a really interesting role in this movie. It's like an Anna Faris sneak peek, honestly. She just appears out of nowhere and they have like this really intense like lesbian relationship at a certain point. It's really good. Like there's just really good moments in this that you don't expect, and I don't know why it's not talked about more. Like it has some really good people in this movie, and like it's just one of the creepier like psycho girl movies, honestly. I love it. This one does have a companion piece to it, and I love the companion piece to this movie that I chose. I think it goes very hand in hand. I do need to rewatch it. Like I don't remember specific things, but American Mary is another psycho bitch with body horror intentions type movie. She is cutting people up, but for a very specific reason, and the characters that she encounters that she's cutting up are like really creepy in their own right. So it's about a girl. I need to rewatch it, so I might be a little muddy on this, but I think she's like a aspiring plastic surgeon. And like she meets people that need plastic surgery, but she just goes like the extra mile with it and like forms her own goals, and like it's like a really goal-driven movie. Like if you need a good ass feminine goal-driven movie, watch American Mary. It's just really, it kind of threw me off. I don't know. I didn't expect this movie to be good for some reason. Like I went into it kind of like, I just didn't think it was going to be good, but it really surprised me with like, it's my favorite part are the people she meets, the people that she cuts up, and the people that need the plastic surgery are really fucking creepy. Like they really are. And yeah, I don't know. Everything feels pretty justified in this movie too. A lot of the violence is justified, and it's one of those feel-good movies that involve a lot of violence. Where you're like, okay, go ahead. I would have done it too. Like, I don't know. But also she goes crazy at certain points, and obviously it's really fun to watch. So I recommend this one if you haven't seen this one. But I do think May goes really well with this one. D13, we get into not just found footage, but also like creepy characters that are in found footage movies. There's a lot of found footage that I like. I'm actually a big fan of found footage, even though most of it is ass. I think Hell House hits pretty hard, and what I mean by that is like how creepy it really is. Like the characters, like just the clown sitting against the wall and like staring at you and not knowing if they're real or not. They have some really good clowns in this movie. Like if you need a good clown horror movie that you've never watched, Hell House I would recommend, because it just alone, the costumes alone are really actually creepy. And it's found footage because it's about a documentary crew that's like going to the Hell House or whatever to see why, I think like why it was haunted or something. I kind of forgot the plot there. But I just know that once they get in there, it's like a lot happens, and it's interesting to pick out which characters are real, but they're all really creepy. It does have a few sequels too. I started watching the sequels. Tracer started watching some of the sequels, and I don't think they're gonna be as good as the original, and I sound like annoying that way, but I think this one really kind of hit. Companion piece, oh sorry, not that. Double feature though, on day 13, I would recommend a movie I brought up the other day that I also think doesn't get enough attention. Wrinkles. Another clown documentary movie. Dude, this is like, I just think it's one of the best creepy movies out there. Like, or clown movies out there. I talked about it the other day, but it's one of those movies that for a long time it actually was successful in the same way Blair Witch Project was successful, where people were not sure if it was real or not. Like, people don't talk about that enough, where this movie was marketed as real for a very long time and people believed it, including myself, which that doesn't mean a lot. But from most people I was talking about movies with at the time, it did seem real. So it's a fake documentary about a clown that stalks people during like that clown craze that happened, where they were chasing after people or looking into people's windows and stuff. That was a weird time, and honestly it kind of ended too soon. It happened on Earth, and like that shit happens on the underworld, or in the underworld a lot, you know, a lot of void clowns just doing their thing. But like, I like seeing it happen on Earth, and that phase happened like way too soon, you know? This was a film made during that time, and so kind of went hand in hand with people believing it was real or not. I still, whenever I watch this or whenever I think about Wrinkles, I like to think that he is real, because it kind of just adds more to it. It's like when you watch Blair Witch Project and you're like, if I watch this with like the thought of it being real, it's kind of more fun. But the marketing behind this movie was really cool, and the marketing behind Blair Witch was really cool because they really made people think it was real. And I think this had the same effect that people don't acknowledge as much. It wasn't as big as Blair Witch, but I do think it like did what Blair Witch was trying to do, or, you know, did. Day 14. The Gift. Another movie I feel like is not talked about enough. This is starring Joel Edgerton and directed and written by Joel Edgerton, the guy on the cover. He's been in a bunch of other movies. I don't know. I can't like think of other movies he's been in, but I know his face. And it was really impressive to find out that he directed this. So day 14 is for creepy stalker guy that stalks you in kind of unconventional ways. Like, I think creepy stalker guy movies can be, they're always creepy in their own right, but I like it when they try different ways to stalk you, I guess. And the reason why this is called The Gift is because the reveal of what's in the gift is one of my favorite horror reveals of all time. Like, I truly think this is one of the most up movies of all time. And I mean that. Like, it's so knowing what the gift has inside and like the finale of this movie, it's more fucked up than Seven. No, seriously. Like, you're saying what's in the fucking box. No, dude. I think this, what's in the box of this one is more fucked up than Seven. And that's saying it's more fucked up than Brad Pitt finding, you know, what he found. It's not Old Boy, but if I were to make a gift box movie list, it would be hard to pick which box is more fucked up. Just trust me, I don't want to spoil anything more, but he's obviously a creepy guy, but I'm not going to reveal what's in the box. You gotta watch it. Because you kind of know where it's going the whole time. You're like, yeah. He knows where they live, la la la. Like, he's kind of a creepy guy. You get that right off the bat, but whenever you get to the finale, just trust me on this. Like, I feel like I've seen everything at this point, and like, it's crazy what's in the actual box in this movie. So I'll leave it there. I could have put Old Boy as a companion piece to this, but I'm taking it as an opportunity to include one of my all-time favorite horror movies. 1 hour photo. Now, it's not like an October Halloween movie, but if we're talking about just our favorite horror movies, which I'm kind of ended up doing that, I have to include this. 1 hour photo is my absolute favorite Robin Williams role. It's the creepiest movie I've ever seen. And honestly, it made me question like a lot of things about my life that I had never had before, but not in like that deep trauma way. More in like, is the pizza delivery guy gonna kill me? Or is the guy that develops my photos gonna kill me? Like things like that you just, at the time I had watched it, I wasn't like super like hyper aware of like thinking about those things. Obviously, like the older you get, the more you're like paranoid and stuff. But like, anyways, it's about a guy named Cy, he's Cy the photo guy. He's like the photo guy at some Walmart or something, and it's Robin Williams, and he just goes full haywire on developing certain photos, and not in the way you might think. Like not in like that, like, oh, he's just obsessed with like a hot girl or something. Like it's not that. Like it goes to levels that like, oh God, man. This has some of the best like set design reveals. Kind of like whenever you actually step inside the killer's house and you see like what they actually are living like and stuff. Yeah. That reveal, the reveal of what's actually inside his house is one of my favorite things I've ever seen in a horror movie. And I'll be honest, this is probably, I think, like one of the scariest horror movies ever. And it suffered from bad marketing, I think, at the time. So a lot of people didn't go and rush to see it as a horror movie, and it wasn't a funny Robin Williams movie, so people were like, probably gonna be boring. But oh my God, I'll never forget the first time I watched this. I was just like, I don't know. I don't even know what you would call this kind of horror besides just like stalker horror, but it's just a whole other level to me. Like, please watch this if you haven't yet. I will force a movie night if enough of us have not seen it, but yeah, I do think this belongs on like a good, I'm in the mood for a horror movie list, despite it being really like centered in reality and all that. I don't know. It's good. It's one of my favorites ever. Day 15. Okay. Now day 15, we're going an interesting route, but this is also one of my favorite genres of horror. Isolation horror. The kind of scenario that would be obviously the worst. Like, this movie suffered from being obviously in the same playing field as Frozen, the Pixar movie. So people just immediately forgot about this one. It's like naming it Frozen was such a bad idea. It really suffered from just it having the worst title at the time. Like, man, I can't believe that they did that, but it's about a bunch of people that just get forgotten that they're on a ski lift. So, yeah. I could not get enough of that genre of horror or whatever it is. Like, I do know what it is. It's just like abandonment horror. Like the kind that's like, they're not going to forget about me, right? While you're stuck on a ski lift, I guess. It's so good. And this movie hits really hard. Like, the violence is really effective because they have to do really wild things to survive in the winter. Like, stuck on a ski lift. Do they jump? Maybe. Are there things waiting down there for them if they jump? Maybe. Do other people do other things? Maybe. It's just crazy. I love like taking a really simple like danger situation and adding like a bunch of solutions to it, kind of like 100 Ways to Die, but this one you're stuck on a ski lift and like, what would you do kind of situation? Like, what the hell would you do if you were actually left on a ski lift over the weekend? So, and I think the funniest part to me is like how you get stuck on a ski lift. Like, most of you might be thinking like, I mean, I would never just get stuck on a ski lift, but they actually make it realistic, like how they got forgotten and everything. It's pretty good. So I've always held this movie like close to my heart. because I want more from this genre. Like I love like people being stuck in really actual scary situations and then figuring it the out, you know? So my companion piece to this one, my double feature for day 15, is one of the first movies I saw that did it in this genre, Open Water. Open Water is the same situation, except it's about a couple that goes on a scuba diving they go on like a scuba diving trip, and they like the tour guide just forgets them in the water, and it's like a shark infested ocean. I can't remember if it's like a true story or not. I can't remember, but it makes you feel like it was, because I mean, it can happen. It was a real story? Okay, yeah, well that adds more to it then. But this movie gets a lot of shit because it can be kind of a slow burn, but I like when movies like this are a slow burn because it brings you to be like more immersed in it. Like, yeah, what do you expect? Like a jump scare in the ocean? I mean, they definitely have that because it's shark infested, but you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to have like a fast tempo. It's more about like, what are they gonna do like to get out of this situation, you know? So I just want more scary movies that bring me into like actual hell situations, you know? Day 17. Okay, are we ready? This is my most recommended movie, I think, of like all time. So day 17, baby. All right. Now, we talked about like convincing, creepy, fake documentaries. This is kind of in the same genre, but these next two actually scared me. Lake Mungo is the best, man. I really, really think it does the perfect fake documentary sort of thing, but I still love watching it, thinking it's real. Now, people think it's a slow burn, but I argue that it's like not. I don't know. I just think it has so many twists that keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time that I've heard it's a slow burn because I think people find it to be more of a drama than it is a scary movie. But like, I can't agree with that. I just think it's like scary the whole time. It has about 6 different twists in it, and all of them hit really well. Like, just when you think you get it, you don't. And that's what I really like about this movie. And I've never, like, it's really hard for me to feel that like really frozen, that really like scared fear, you know, where you're like, you're like literally like, oh shit, dude. Like, the ending of this movie made me feel like that. I just, oh my God. There's so many moments of this movie that make you think you know what you're watching while providing some intensely scary imagery. I'll say this because I do want to like tell you a little bit about it, but if you like the kind of shit where it's like, did you see it? Like like all those cheesy YouTube videos that are like, did you see it? And it's like a ghost in the background or something. This does it extremely well to the point of like someone who's desensitized to this shit was scared shitless while watching this. And it did kind of remind me of like old Slender Man photos, you know, like back when those were like, did you see Slender Man in the back? So, I mean, that's kind of one of the first narratives it brings you along with. So I just wanted to bring that up in like a way to get you to watch it, but it's definitely not just about that. So please check this movie out. If you haven't, let me know, please. Like, this 1 hour photo, I think I recommend the most out of like any horror movie ever. So please let me know what you think of Lake Mungo. The double feature for Lake Mungo is another movie I felt stone cold fear in. because I think it nailed the documentary feel perfectly well. Okay. Yeah, I do think it suffers a bit from the cheesy-ish moments, but holy shit, this movie is way better than it needs to be. Like, I just didn't expect like an alien documentary movie to be as scary as it was. I've never found like aliens to be that scary, and I know that's just my own personal thing. But this was the only, or one of the only scary alien movies I think that actually got to me. It gets really deep, but not in like that annoying, let's focus on flashbacks sort of way. Wait, I think the whole movie's a flashback though. But it's less like, it's less bloopery, less like drama, and more like, deep in a way where they really try to figure out how to deal with this like possession sort of thing without spoiling too much, you know? I think I'm really a big fan of movies that have a possessed kid in it, or a possession is happening, but they don't just do the same old let's bring in a priest to spit on them kind of thing, you know? Like, I think The Exorcist is the only one that did that right. I'm sure there's a couple other bangers in there, but like, I'm kind of over that. Like, I'm over like priests just being the solution. This movie, they do involve a little bit of that, but it just goes in more of a scientific route and like more of like an alien route and more of like a holy route. I don't know, man. It's not a cheap jump scare movie. Like, it's not one of those like, I don't know, man. It's so good. So most of the movie is spent with like a split screen where Mila Jovovich plays the real woman that this is all happening to. Yeah. The woman that they cast, the real woman, I'm not trying to be a, but they like chose the scariest looking woman. It's all the makeup and everything, but like, they get Mila Jovovich to play this like actual like ghoul. So it's like Mila Jovovich in the actual movie, and then it's the real woman on the other side of the screen. So it's like two movies at once, and it's like it hits hard. I think, again, I just think the ending to this is what really got me in that stone cold fear mood. That Stone Cold Steve Austin scare zone. You know what I mean? Where like, you think you know where it's going, but then it just gets so wild. You're like, wow! So yeah. I don't know. I'm picky about alien movies. They're just not scary to me, and this one I think is the scariest, for sure. Okay, day 18. We've all seen this one, I'm pretty sure. And it's one of those where please just go watch this now if you haven't. So, day 18 is my Micah Monroe day. I think she deserves her own day at this point. She picks the best roles in horror movies besides like Mia Goth. Like, Mia Goth and Micah Monroe are just like the best when it comes to, if I know they're gonna be in a movie, I know it's gonna be good, you know? Even like, I know we had a long talk about Longlegs and all that, but in the end, it was an enjoyable, entertaining movie because of Micah Monroe too. Anyways, It Follows. The banger is, it has a banger soundtrack. Like, literally, I think the soundtrack might even be as scary as a lot of the scares in this movie. It just, I don't know, man. It does everything right. It does everything right. Everything is so good in this movie. The atmosphere is weird. Like, I immediately just think of that girl on her weird shell phone. Like, what time is it? Like, what year is this supposed to even be in? But it's not that confusing. It's just moments like that that they throw at you where you're like, what the hell? Like, okay. But if you have not seen It Follows, use this month as a way to watch it for the first time. Or if you've seen it a million times, let's rewatch it. Let's just watch it together in Discord because I miss it. I start to miss this movie. I think it has like some of the best scares. I love the whole like game that you're playing while watching it, where you really don't know who is infected, or I don't even know what they really call it, but whoever is following her. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but if you have not seen this, it's a lot of people that start to follow Micah Monroe, and she has to kind of figure out which one is the culprit, kind of like Among Us. And it sounds bad out loud. Like, just go watch it, because honestly, it's one of the best just crafted horror movies, where the cast is great, the atmosphere is great, the music is like probably my favorite thing of the movie. And yeah, I love seeing that y'all like this movie too. Hell yeah. It also has a companion piece, and I said that this was Micah Monroe Day, so I chose another Micah Monroe movie. And this is one I think is not talked about enough. The Guest. This is kind of like Micah Monroe vibe movie. This is more of a thriller. I debated putting this on here because it's not necessarily oozing with horror. Yeah, The Guest is fun. I think that's the main thing. So it stars Dan Stevens, the guy on the cover right there. He is like, I think he's like hired by the family to watch over them or something. And then the rest is just up. Just watch it. You know, it's slowly revealed like what he really is. And just like It Follows, it has one of the best soundtracks ever. And like, if you're just going to watch a movie with a good soundtrack, watch this, or just look up the soundtrack. It has a really good Halloween 3 reference at the very end, so I kind of thought about that while putting it on the list. But I mean, it is a horror movie because of what he really ends up being, and the finale is really good, man. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, man. Like, seriously, dude. I like the way that the like last 20 minutes is filmed. I just need to like sit for a second. It's so good. Like, it's just, it's, do y'all ever like really get off whenever music is paired perfectly with like a movie scene or something, or even like in a video game? Like, the music is just so perfect with it. Like, that's exactly what this did to me. Like, I don't know if it hit for anyone else in that regard, if you watched it, but like the song that they play while the final act happens, it's one of my favorite things like in movie history. Like, I don't know. I know it's like hard to say, like, but it just really made me feel things. Like, I don't know. If you can't tell, man, it's just so good. And the rest of the soundtrack is good too, but that final act is like, I honestly hadn't really consciously thought about it till like right now. I'm just like, god damn, man. Oh, it's so good. I gotta rewatch it. I have to rewatch this. But yeah, man, I would watch It Follows and The Guest. It Follows, it deserves like its own movie night. Maybe not with a companion piece, but if you have the itch to watch another Micah Monroe movie with a good soundtrack, this is it. So there you go. Day 19, we're getting into some like blood and guts of my blood and guts, man, of like just the movies I love. Like, whew. Okay, well, now we're gonna take maybe like a half a step back. This isn't something I recommend every day. Okay, all right. Switching gears a bit. This is creepy as fuck. Day 19 is for Orphan. I think this movie's underrated, dude. I think it's actually creepy, and I do think the sequel was pretty good when people thought it would be terrible. But yeah, I just think we should all rewatch Orphan again. It's really good. It's really brutal. It has one of the best reveals ever about like who the fuck she really is. And yeah, I think it was too soon that we all forgot about this movie. I think it was just, it did everything right, you know? I think it really revealed the major twist of who she really is really well. I think the gore and the violence is super intentional and like fucked up in its own right and works really well. Supposedly this movie got blamed for a drop in adoption rates. I can definitely see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. It just makes things a little weird. It's especially when you find out who she really is. Have we all seen The Orphan or Orphan? Who has not seen Orphan? Because like, it's one of those movies that was really big, but I just don't know if we all watched it, you know? So sorry, I didn't really explain anything about it, but it's just about a girl that gets adopted by a very deserving couple that is a very loving family, but Orphan has other intentions, and obviously she's like a murderer. Like, look at her eyes. We all know she's got like scary, evil intentions here. But yeah, like this has one of the most fucked up twists if you don't know about it ever. So just go watch it and let me know what you think. The companion piece, the double feature for Orphan. This is another creepy kid movie, but I'm bringing this up because like the other day we were talking about if kids are actually creepy in horror movies or if that's like overdone. Dude, I think The Boy does it really well. It's about a creepy doll too, but the story is this girl takes a nanny job and she gets to the house and she realizes that she's not just babysitting a kid, but she's babysitting a doll that the family is treating like a real son. Like they're like, no, make sure you feed him at a certain time, make sure he gets to bed. And I thought this movie would be absolute dog. Like, but it's so good. Again, I'm just a real big sucker for twists, and this is one of the best twists ever. I love what they did with this movie. It's not at all what you think. Like you go into it, you're gonna be all cocky and think it's just another possessed doll movie. I'm including it on a list for a goddamn reason. This is so good. Like, it's not just what you think. You get to the movie and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, the family is f***ed up. Like, they're making her watch like this kid, like a gremlin, basically. But there's so much more f***ed up shit behind like the doll, the boy. Just trust me. Day 19. I gotta include this one. I mean, we've discorded this maybe twice, 3 times now, but Ice Cream Man, I don't have a companion piece of this one. I was gonna put The Stuff, but it's not the same. Ice Cream Man is so underrated if you haven't watched it. It has the same feel as like the movie It, with like all the kids being like in a group and they all have their own like personalities and they're all being affected by this like weird entity. But in this one, the entity is an ice cream man. He's like a cannibalistic ice cream man, if you can't tell, with the skull on his ice cream. But my favorite part about this is that this is Ron Howard's brother. I love that Ron Howard went like a very vanilla Happy Days route. And then his brother Clint was just in here like, like, I'll play the janky horror movie game or whatever. I don't know. He's like more of like the janky horror guy. And then like Ron Howard, you know, went on to direct and all of this stuff and like major blockbuster movies. And Clint Howard, he owns this movie. And I love this movie. I could rewatch this all the time. It's one of those like, yeah, like a janky horror movie. It's not even like a B horror movie because I think it actually hits. I think it's like good, but it has that janky feel because it's not like, it's the concept is just like creepy ice cream man. And then a lot of the kids, like some become his friend, some find out his true intentions, some break into the ice cream place and see what's in the real ice cream. And yeah, camp is a good way to put it, Cybernaut. This is like one of my favorite So Bad, So Good movies. It's just so good, man. I think it reminds me of like a really good Are You Afraid of the Dark episode that became an R-rated movie, you know? Maybe that's why. It gives me that vibe because maybe there's just like the group of kids, like the cast of kids and like the kind of creepy thing happening, but this is more like, let's turn that into an R-rated movie with gore and cannibalistic features and stuff. So it kind of makes me want like more R-rated Are You Afraid of the Dark? I don't know. Day 20. Here we go. Now we're getting into our weird body horror again. So Teeth, it's body horror, but it's what I was saying at the very beginning of this stream, where it's very normal day, but then there's just like one thing really f***ed up about this shit. I think that's my favorite kind of body horror, and like Cronenberg does do that well, but he did it especially well with The Fly, where it's like a really simple concept, but then they just throw one huge ass wrench into the movie. And it just, I don't know how to put it, but it's not like it involves a very complex plot. It doesn't get convoluted or anything. It just knows what it is, and I don't want to reveal it if you don't know what this is about. But like, you can put two and two together. Just think of like the weirdest spot you would have teeth as a woman. And there you go. I mean, it's like revealed within the first like 10 minutes that that's what's happening. But yeah, it's one of those things again, like where it has a very bare minimum concept, but it's like, what the hell would you do? Like, what would you do in this situation? So she goes on dates. She does a lot of weird shit with it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those things where you get to watch a really simple f***ed up scenario play out in a lot of different ways. And I love movies like that, especially when it's like body horror and it's not Cronenberg. I love Cronenberg. I mean, I put one of his movies on here, but it's like, I love Cronenberg inspired shit, you know? I really liked the ending, yeah. So to go with the ending and to kind of go with like the power trip that this girl gets from having that, okay, well, there we go. God. I paired Teeth with another very powerful woman with a strange body horror thing happening to her. So, Titan is like more sci-fi thriller, but I would definitely say it's horror because of just, I mean, if you've seen it, I think you would agree. This is a movie about a girl that has car parts, like literal car parts built into her body system. So this makes her like attracted to, well, you'll see why there's car parts built into her system. She a car, you know? And so the movie is about how that plays out. It's fine. So like, yeah, it's all about her having something happening to her body because she chooses to a car. It's in the trailer. I mean, you know. I'm not gonna say what she does. I thought it was a Fast and the Furious trailer when I first saw this. Like when they were like, when I was in the theater and like they just started rolling the trailers, I was like, oh my God, not another Fast and the Furious movie. And then it just wasn't, like, because it has that vibe where you see a lot of hot cars. But then I just didn't expect her to make a move on the car. You know? So it's all about what happens after that. And again, every movie kind of has this tonight, but like the finale, dude. Well, you're right, Cybernaut. Fast and the Furious is all about cars. So maybe this is a Fast and the Furious fan fiction movie, you know? But yeah, this is the same director as the girl that directed Raw. So if you liked Raw, go for Titane. I think Titane definitely is a lot more intense than Raw, but this director knows how to push the envelope in a really tasteful, cool way. Like not in like just a shock you sort of way. Like what you see in her movies are really shocking, but it just works really well, you know? It's not just there to shock you for the thumbnail. And I like that. Like she knows what she's doing. You can tell she's super Cronenberg inspired, but yeah, dude, I was just a huge fan of Titane and Raw. Day 21, we have, I have seen this movie maybe 60 times, and I want everyone to know that, okay? It's really good for rewatchability. This is one of my favorite you expect to be bad, but it's so good movies. It's about a girl that is a cam girl, but halfway through the movie, maybe like halfway, it turns into something a lot more horror. And I cannot tell you enough. Maybe it's because I'm a streamer and like it's kind of cool to see like a streamer horror movie, but like it's so good in terms of like it has a bit of stalker elements, it has a bit of like dual personality kind of stuff, but it's a little cooler than you think. Yeah, I definitely recommend this one. I think this is one of the coolest, like most fun horror movies to watch. Yeah, you know, oh my God. I never thought of it that way, but Cam is a lot like Perfect Blue, but sort of set in a modern day. Wow. Okay, so Perfect Blue is one of my favorite movies of all time, like top 5. And I never thought of it like that. It totally is like Perfect Blue, but in closer to modern day. I know Perfect Blue is a modern day, but like deals with more like being a streamer and like having a live chat and all of that. And it's a lot of like streamer stuff. I don't know. Just take my word for it. It's really hard to recommend this movie because people are instantly just like, not my vibe. Don't care about like a girl being a cam girl like in a movie, which is I thought that would be intriguing enough, but for some reason it's been really hard to convince people to watch this. I think this movie does it super well. It's like actually good horror too. The finale is good, but my favorite parts are just like the middle chunk of her trying to understand what it's like to... I'll say this, the movie is mainly her trying to become the best streamer of all time. Like she is really trying to climb the ranks and be number one. And the things that she does to get there are crazy, but it's a lot more than you expect. It's not like she has to kill anyone or anything. It's like some crazy shit. And I really like that they even made a movie about that, because I would love more movies that are about content creators trying to be number one, you know, kind of like a Mr. Beast horror movie kind of thing. Not like, I don't want a Mr. Beast horror movie, but like, I don't know, even just a movie about a streamer kind of like this, that's just going through different levels of stress, trying to be number one. And like, yeah, you can do a lot of horrific things with that. So this one does it really well. Okay, so the companion piece I have to Cam is underrated, sort of found footage, but also taken place on a computer movie. Well, Cam is not taken place on a computer, but a lot of it is. It's not like Unfriended where it's all the way on a computer, but this movie is. So this is an investigative horror movie about a girl that's trying to find some like serial killer through things like chat roulette and like Omegle video stuff, like weird online video chat room kind of things. And she's like straight up like a police investigator trying to find and trying to solve this mystery through going on websites like that. And like, it's really fascinating kind of how they do that. There are some very cheap scares in this though. And that's why I added a third movie to this. So if you have a bad taste in your mouth or like the bad jump scares in this one, I get it. But I still think this one is like underrated in terms of like, that's a really cool way to solve a mystery. Like just going in a public chat room, and especially the ones that have videos and stuff, and like taking notes of their surroundings. Like if y'all were to look behind here, like, you know, we're trying to find the killer that has a lot of dolls in their background. Like that's kind of what she does. It's cool, you know, like she's trying to find clues through this like weird chat app and stuff. So I highly recommend it. But like I said, it's not the best in terms of actually being scary. It's just good in an entertaining, scary movie wise, you know. But in the same day, I do want to recommend one more. And that is the same vibe I feel like, which is Deadstream. Someone mentioned Deadstream earlier. This is a story about a YouTuber that likes to do content on paranormal haunted locations. So he takes on this one haunted house, he slaps on his GoPro, and the story leads on from there. Like, I think this has not the best scares again, but the concept and the delivery is really fun to watch. Like, so if you want to watch like a YouTube, it really plays off the like kind of what I'm doing tonight, where I'm like, please like and subscribe. Oh my God, we got a new follower on the YouTube today. Like that's how I feel, especially with like posting that first YouTube video and everything. Like it really, really is a satire on that content creator life and stuff. And I think it's good that there's a movie about that, like I said. So I think this one's more funny than scary, but that's why you got the other two to kind of balance this one out. But I do like the directions this one goes. And like, I think it's cool to have a movie about content creators. So that's kind of my content creator horror day. Yeah, check out Deadstream. This one's more YouTube. The second one is more like chat room horror. And then the one before that is cam girl horror. So trust me on it. Though I think all three of these are actually like worth watching. For day 22, I think this is all you need for day 22. Also because I can't think of any more wax museum / just wax people movies. I have never seen the movie Waxwork, so I didn't add that, but I know that's another one. House of Wax is so underrated, and I have it on VHS thanks to Glitchy. It's a really hard tape to find, actually, but besides that, I've always found wax figures like to be one of the creepiest Uncanny Valley type things, where like, yeah, it's just good shit and we don't get enough of it. Wax museums are a weird concept when there's so many of them, and like every celebrity becomes a wax figure at some point. And like, have we really thought about that longer than just the shallow thought of that? Like, why do we turn all of our celebrities into wax figures and then charge people like $60 just to go walk through and not touch them and stuff? It's just a weird concept, so I'm glad someone made a scary movie about that. It's not necessarily about celebrities getting turned into wax people, but there's a lot of good scenarios and like set design that have just a lot of wax figures in it. Paris Hilton is in this movie and she actually kills it. I think Paris Hilton, yeah, it is. It's the one with Paris Hilton. I think when Paris Hilton is in a horror movie, it's actually pretty good. Like, she's never really had a flop, in my opinion. Repo, thought she killed it in that, you know? So yeah, she is in this one. So if you just want to watch it just to watch her die, there you go. But yeah, I think this movie has a really cool last act. Like from the half point on, I think it really picks up and you get to see a lot of really cool wax figures. And I don't know, it's sick. Whoever made all the wax figures is really cool. So that's my day 22 pick, because I want more too. So hopefully, like, if I bring up these movies, I'm also spawning them to be like, I kind of would take a House of Wax sequel, which is weird to say. I don't know. I would take it, because I just want more wax figures to be in movies, but whatever. They could do it too. Yeah, I think it actually could work, because it leaves off on a note that's not super tied up in a bow. You know, they could do a lot with it. For day 23, I went the anthology horror route. First of all, I picked one that I don't see people talk about a lot. This is one of my favorite anthology movies, but I've only seen it once. I haven't seen it more than once. Tales from the Hood is such a banger movie where every segment is entertaining as much as Creepshow, to be honest. Like, I would consider Creepshow probably the best horror anthology. I know there's a lot of them, but this one is as fun as that. It has like one of the best puppet horror segments ever. Like, I would rather watch that puppet horror segment than like any Puppet Master movie. And yeah, just like each short anthology segment in this is really good and funny. And it's just like a banger movie that I feel like people don't talk about. Like, when you instantly think of horror anthologies, people go VHS or Tales from the Crypt or Creepshow, but like, we cannot forget about Tales from the Hood. It's underrated. It's just really fun, and I need to rewatch it because I only kind of remember the puppet, but I know that I had a 10 out of 10 experience when I saw it. To pair Tales from the Hood, I did want to just do kind of an obvious one and give you Creepshow, because as banger and well known as it is, I think we do need to include it. You know, like, I just do. I think we just need to include it in this month. And I love an anthology. I think it's sick. It's just so good every time I watch it too. I can't really get tired of this movie. So I'm pretty sure all of us here have seen it or heard of it at least, but take this as an opportunity to watch it for the first time if you haven't. Stephen King acts in this movie. Like, he's not just a director in it, like, he acts in it. George Romero does direct, though, a short in this, but if you want to see how Stephen King acts as like just an actor, let me know, or yeah, what you think of that, because it's pretty entertaining. But Creepshow, I had to put it on there. So we're kind of towards the end of the month here, so I'm including things that I feel like are going to be a little bit more obvious than the 22 I've mentioned before. You know, like, these are just banger chicken dinner. Day 24. We just watched this in Discord. So again, no real surprise here, but I do think it should be on this list. This had some of the best doll action scenes I've ever seen, and this is my promotion to join the Discord, especially if you are a sub. That way you can start watching these banger movies with us. I really think this one is underrated. Like, dude, the cover of this is really bizarre though, when you really look at it. But like, I did include a Child's Play movie as the companion. You can start to guess which one. It's my favorite one. But like, yeah, this is a night for more so recommendations. So please fucking watch this if you don't want to watch Child's Play but are in the mood to watch killer dolls doing shit. It has like a nice 80s mood to it as well, where like the costumes are very Video Dead, if you've seen that movie. Like, they're very like, oh, well, she's got the rebel mohawk, you know, like, it's very like 80s oozing. I think it's 80s, right? Well, either way. I don't know. It's got a good like atmosphere, but besides that, like, it's got a good atmosphere. The dolls do crazy shit in this one, and like I actually really liked it more than I thought I would, because a lot of times, especially with the Puppet Master movies, you have to wait a good chunk until shit actually starts to happen, but I think this one is like from the get-go really good. So yeah, dolls, but I did pick a Child's Play movie for the double feature because I'd have to include my boy. I just think he also will be mad at me if I don't, and a few other people behind me would be too. It's fine. But this is my favorite one. This was a formative movie for me because I like had to pull a lot of strings to watch this as young Scaroline. I keep thinking that the birth in this movie was a fever dream, but she gives birth to a doll, right? Like, I still can't believe that this happens in that movie, even if I watched it a million times. I can't remember it even happening. Like, this movie is one of the biggest fever dreams to me. I feel like I watch it, I love it, and then I forget like what I gaslight myself about what actually happens in it. Like, they in this, right? And then she gives birth. Like, I just don't fully remember that, but like I know it happens. So that's like my side point to this one. It's just more like shock value, but yeah, Jennifer Tilly gets introduced. She's my girl, you know, I love her. Very inspired by Jennifer Tilly and Elvira as goth hot bitches. I love them. So like, yeah, man. I mean, I was really happy to see her in the Chucky show. To be honest, was really happy about that. That show got kind of convoluted, but the movie is really good, where she's introduced. So, yeah. Like I said, these last movies, you're probably gonna be like, yeah, these aren't really recommendations. Day 25, it's Christmas in October. Nosferatu. We talked about it. Now's the time to actually please watch it. Just watch it. Even if it seems boring, just watch it. Because you need to prepare yourself for the movie coming out on Christmas. Just do it, you know? It's worth it. You're gonna see Nosferatu way more than you thought if you've never seen it. That's how I felt when I first watched it. I thought it was gonna be more of like a Jaws thing where like you never see the killer. Maybe you see Jaws a lot. I don't know. I just always remember Jaws is like in it for 2 minutes. I felt like that's what this was gonna be, but Nosferatu is in this a lot. He drives a carriage. He's like in it a lot. And I was so happy about that. Because when you sign up for a movie that has them in the title, these days I expect to never see them and that they're just gonna like drip feed it to you and tease you the whole time. But Nosferatu, the original, just do it. Just watch it. Come back and tell me what you think if you haven't seen it yet. I watched it for the first time this year. And I was surprised how like glued to the screen my eyes were. I thought I'd be a lot more bored. For real. But it's worth it. So, after you've done that, my suggestion for you is to watch... Now... one of the best void brain movies of all time. In fact, it's kind of where I thought of the term void brain, because we were watching it with Chat Meat Blob, some void beings, you know? And it goes hand in hand with Nosferatu, Robert Eggers, you know. I would say this is the Robert Eggers movie I would recommend to you if you wanted to start watching his movies to prepare for Nosferatu coming out later this year. Yeah, it's just one of those stinky void brain movies. What else can I say, you know? Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe. It's also cool that Willem Dafoe is in this. Oh my god, this is such a crazy double feature if you think about it on so many levels, you know? You have Dafoe, who's not playing Nosferatu but did in Shadow of the Vampire, who's also going to be in the new Nosferatu directed by Robert Eggers, who directed The Lighthouse. And it's just, this is a good night. I think if you really don't know what to watch, I want to know what it would be like to double feature these two. But I think in all being said, it's a great to prepare for the new one by this way, Don't watch the colorized Nosferatu. Yeah, it's very confusing. The colorized Nosferatu makes it seem like he's out in the daytime a lot. So that was a confusing experience because when he gets burned by the daylight at the very end, I was like, wasn't he in the daylight the whole time? Turns out he wasn't. So, all right, day 26, here we are. Okay. See, but how can I lose energy when... I've talked about this a shitload, but you have to watch this movie if you haven't. I think a lot of people skip out on this because they're like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to see Elvira be Elvira again. As much as you like her, I've heard of way too many people skipping out on this movie because they're like, no, I saw her show. I get it. And it's like, her show was honestly pretty boring because the movies that she was told to promote were not good most of the time. And that's not her fault. She was the best part of the Elvira, the show that she was on where she's on the red couch promoting movies. Not a scary movie. I know I thought about that, but I think it's a good October movie to get in the mindset. It's kind of like my Casper recommendation. It's not necessarily horror, but it's definitely it's an October feeling sort of movie. I can watch Elvira any day of the year. I can watch any of these movies any day of the year, but no, I've never seen the pilot for the Elvira sitcom, but I've heard of it. Yeah. So, yeah, Elvira, this movie hits a lot harder than I thought. I honestly didn't expect it to be as good because I was going in thinking they weren't going to give her the script or the story she deserved. I don't know why. It's just because her show, it's almost like they didn't do enough with her, they kind of just put her on the red couch. She said some funny things and then we were forced to watch this boring ass fucking black and white movie. And not always black and white, but it just always felt like the crustiest movie that she would recommend on the couch during her show. And it's nothing against her, but this is what makes the movie so good though, because I think it's the Elvira we wanted to see. And they put her in a Pee-wee's Big Adventure sort of situation where she goes all these different places. They give her a lot of camp. They give her a lot of cool set designs. She cooks some really cool stuff with eyeballs in it. I don't know. They just really do a lot with her character for once instead of just have her be a host. Because if you look up the Elvira lore, she has so much backstory that no one ever talks about because, the show she's on where she was introducing movies, doesn't ever dive into her backstory and it never talks about her lore or anything. But this movie does. This movie is such a good vibe and it's I want more of it, obviously. But yeah, I love it. Yeah, her lore is probably in the comics too. I'm not a comic person, so I never really got into those, but I'll check out hers and stuff. I just thank God for this movie because I just wanted a movie. I wanted more of Cassandra Peterson, doing her Elvira thing. I do have a companion piece for her, even though I think she deserves her own night, but I would add another Elvira movie if there was another Elvira movie. There's not. From what I can remember, there's not. But my companion piece for Elvira is... there. Night of the Demons! This is one of my favorite camp practical effects, costume, overtake the movie sort of horror movies. The Don't watch it for the plot. I mean, hey, that's what people say about Elvira too, you know? But don't watch this one for the plot. It's just one of those like really cool visual haunted house movies. But it's more of like a party. It's a bunch of teenagers get invited to go to this like haunted house for a party, and they get there and things just go crazy. But it's, yeah, I mean, that's the plot basically. It's kind of just like an indie horror game. But like the creature design of Angela herself is probably my favorite girl monster look ever. Never heard of it? Oh my God, dude. Okay. Night of the Demons is like, oh God, I love it so much. The cover of this, okay, hold on. So there's also this cover. This, I'm sure you've seen this cover. But like, I don't know. This actually held up too, because I was always scared to watch this movie. Like, I was just like, damn, this is how you do a horror movie cover, man. She's licking a lollipop. This is the second one, which I also think is almost as good as the first one. So just watch both if you want that vibe. But yeah, like the creature costuming, makeup, design on Angela herself is worth watching just for her. Like, seriously, she's a creature feature in herself, for real. Like, it's good just to watch for Angela. So I guess I included this as a companion piece to Elvira because it's more like I'm watching it for the girl, you know, like for how well they did the main character. But Elvira has a good plot too. But this one is more like kind of like Dead Alive, you know? I didn't put Dead Alive on here, but it is kind of like Dead Alive where the effects and the costuming take over, and that's why you should watch it. Day 27. This is one of my favorites ever. If you don't know already, I'm a huge haunted house bitch. I want to do a stream coming up where we just walk through haunted houses, and I think this is one of my favorite movies that dive into that. Yes, I've heard it's very split. So you can see some no's in the chat. Probably you're not the only one. Nags Pie. I think this movie is really, really fun. I am obsessed with like how like you think they just go to one simple haunted house in this movie. But like this is about a film crew that kind of vlogs haunted house walkthroughs, kind of like the stream we'll watch together. I want to start doing that, by the way. I'm going to put together a playlist of haunted house walkthroughs we can watch together. And that's what this movie is. Like, I thought going in, this would just be like a paranormal kind of weird haunted house movie where it's just one, but it's a crew of people that tour around the country and go to different haunted houses. So you see like 6 different haunted houses kind of things. And they get more and more intense as they go on. But like, yeah, the one they end on is obviously the one that is the scariest, and the movie goes on from there. But I fucking love this movie. I think this is one of the most fun horror movies because I personally love watching haunted houses. I don't go to many personally, but when I say haunted houses, I mean like the ones at amusement parks and like the attractions. So this is a movie about that, and I think if people knew that more, they would like it. I think people thought this was just like a ghost movie, but it's not. Like this is like a really good vlogger movie again, kind of where they just deep dive haunted house attractions. It's like Halloween Horror Nights, the movie, if it got turned up a notch, you know. Okay, companion piece for this one, I would say, is not the best movie, but I think would be fun to watch afterwards. This one is literally just called Haunt. So it's not a documentary about it, but it's just a group of people going through one of like a really intense haunted house, kind of like McCamey Manor, but not that intense. More like a fun house where the actors actually scare you. So I think I really appreciate this movie because That's always my biggest fear. Like, that the haunted house actors will actually kill you. I know they won't and shit, but it's like, why not? Like, this is the place to do it, kind of. Like, you're wearing a mask, you have a fake knife, just replace it with a real one. You're allowed to carry a chainsaw. Like, why are there not more haunted house deaths, I guess? Is kind of like a fucked up thing to say, but it's like, I think this movie is like way late on that concept. Like, there should be more haunted house horror movies, because that's always my biggest fear is like, what if that fucking clown is just having a bad day and I'm the one that's walking through during that moment, you know? It's the stage is set for them to kill. I don't know, man. So I think I like this movie because it actually does tackle that fantasy I've had. Negative nightmare. Not really like a fantasy, but just like my worry that I have whenever I go to a haunted house. Day 28 is Phantasm. I've never seen this, but hey, this will be our community rec for the night, okay? So join Discord and we will watch this one soon. That is my way of recovering from this. That's my recommendation to myself, okay? You gotta throw one in there for you. So let's watch Phantasm together, okay? Cool. Day 28, Phantasm. Day 29! Yeah, so day 29, this is, you know, clearly, I think, the best thing to watch around this time. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen this, you have to. It's kind of like a Christmas story for Christmas. This is quintessential Halloween movie. I like that it starts off, but like if I were to actually talk about it, you know, like I do like how it starts off feeling like an anthology movie, but all of the different stories start to like actually with each other. Like they really start to interact with each other. They climax together. Oh my God, what am I doing? Okay, but that's true though, you know? My favorite one is the Anna Paquin one. And you know what I mean by that. I'm not gonna reveal what happens, but I really think this is deservedly like a quintessential Halloween movie. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I feel like things just don't hold up when they're that hyped up. And I think this one actually does hold up. Like, this is your time to watch it. This one's weird to watch any other time, I guess, is why you should have it on a list like this. I'm not going to put this on my Doomas list, you know? I'm not going to put this on my summer list either. So if you haven't watched it, this is really your only month where it will hit hard. So there you go. It'll hit hard. It's fun. It's not like intense or anything. But yeah, this is banger, 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 banger. All right, so I did pick a Halloween movie for day 30. But you have to guess which one. It's gonna be obvious. This is the best one to watch on Halloween. Close to Halloween, like the day before. Halloween 3. The one without Michael Myers. He supposedly is a cameo in the TV, but like, this one gets you in the mood so hard through all the different stories they tell, and just the buildup it has with like the 21 days till Halloween, like, I mean, it just has like the best buildup to Halloween, so having it be the movie to watch on the night before, I think works really well. This was more so like, where do I put this movie? I knew I was going to put this movie on the list, but it was like, where? It's fun to watch it on the day of, but I think this movie does a lot of build up to Halloween. So I think it's a perfect Halloween Eve movie. Like, you really get excited for that shit when you watch it the night before, because it's like, it just gets you so in the mood, kind of like how a Christmas movie really hits on Christmas Eve or something, you know? Like you just get so excited for the next day. And this is what I would pick to get you as excited as possible for Halloween. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of like trick-or-treating, like kids getting excited for it, but that's kind of what I would pick, especially if you have kids and you want to show them a horror movie. I mean, go for it. If you're that kind of mom and that kind of dad, do it. But yeah, this has a lot of brainwashing, and I do with that. Like, good brainwashing is good when it's done well, and especially when it's through a static TV doing a weird advertisement. Like, I kind of want a game. I want a Halloween 3 season 3 game. Season 3? Halloween 3 Season of the Witch game. Sorry. I think that'd be really sick. I think it would be cool to anticipate Halloween that way. Yeah, I dig it. I just think it's a perfect Halloween Eve movie to get you the most hype. So I'm leaving it there. But then finally I have my 31. The movie I think everyone should actually watch on Halloween, and we could do it together this year. So after you've watched, cried, shit your pants to Casper, you know, now's the time to watch the WNUF Halloween special. Very underrated. I talked about this the other day, but this is one of those swept under the rug Halloween things. Like, it's a fake news segment that's being streamed on TV, and to me it's like actually watching the shit that's brainwashing the kids in Halloween 3. You know what I mean? So that's why I think Halloween 3 is a good prequel to this. Now you're watching the TV and getting brainwashed yourself. But besides that, they have a really cool like fake, I can't explain it. It's kind of like watching like a paid programming, local cable, what's it called? Like not a, it's like a local network sort of, brains fried. Feels like you're watching a channel that never gets anything cool on it, except for on Halloween they randomly got this special. Public access, yeah. Yes, it has a public access vibe. So yeah, it's like you're flipping through TV on a night on Halloween. There's nothing you want to watch because you've seen everything, especially everything we've talked about. You've watched the Michael Myers Halloween, you've done it all, but then you finally land on this cursed channel. Like, you're like, what is playing? And it's like a really film grainy public access vibe. What the hell am I watching at 4 a.m. as I'm in and out of sleep sort of vibe. Yeah, it's yes. So it was made in 2013, and this also circles back to our very first pick, House of the Devil, where it's making you think you are watching a movie or a TV special filmed in like the 90s or something. And it does a really good job with convincing you, whether it just be like them using a VHS camera, but it just really feels like you're watching something your grandma taped and just shoved up in the attic one day. And you're like, you know what? I don't have anything else to watch on Halloween. I'll check out what my grandma has in the attic or something. And then you put it in and it's like this cursed public access Halloween special that she just taped on top of something one day. Like, that's what this gives. Like, that's the vibe it gives. It's really good. I think it's the perfect thing to watch on Halloween because I love cursed VHS and I love that vibe. So, yeah, I think it's sick. I would love to watch it with y'all this year if you want to. I don't know if I'm streaming or not, but maybe we can watch it after stream or before, or not at all, you know, in Discord. So, I like that whole, what did my grandma record over? Like, she meant to record The Price is Right, but this is not The Price is Right. Like, let me, you know, that kind of vibe. So, yeah. That's all I got for you, though. That's my 31 days of Halloween with about 60 movies y'all can pick from.